Thanks, Lauren. We're here with one of my favorites in the league that's still balling, Andrew McCutchen. Year 16, am I right?
Mm-hmm.
Came here when he was 22. Now at 37, has come full circle. How you feeling?
About how a 37-year-old, I guess, will feel right now at this time of my career.
Nothing changed though. Body type, bro. You still look like. See, when I got to the end, you know that midsection was a little 38, a little 40. You just looking the same.
Yeah, I had to get that to the training, man. I got the training, try to eat right, and then once you get down here in this, spring, man,
right,
you start to. That water weight, that goes away.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
you got to lose, everybody come in a little heavy in spring, so you lose a few pounds before you go in. So, yeah, man, just try to keep my legs under me.
Yeah, when you talking, people listen. So you was talking a little bit this offseason about the team, about, where y'all at, the window of opportunity to win. You said, one word you said that was key, and me looking at it is the rebuild, and rebuild is over. As far as what you guys have in camp, and as far as what you have as a team, what you saw last year, just talk about what you were alluding to as far as just what this team is at.
Yeah, so when I first came here last year, coming back, the reason it brought me back was because when I was on the Brewers playing against the Pirates, I saw spurts of a really good team. We played them well. We were supposed to be a playoff team on the Brewers, but they would play us really well. I was like, bad teams don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I showed up last year, we had the start that we did in April. And then we went through our, valleys and things like that. But as the season kept going on and we got towards the end, you could still see the team fight and play well. So I went into this year, I'm like, all right, you can't use the excuse of a rebuild.
Yeah.
Rebuild's over. It's been a few years the same. From the front office all the way down to the guys that's in the club, on the team, I just felt like we, as a whole, it's time to go out there and play good baseball. I think we had a club to do it. So, we can't use that word anymore.
This team addressed some key roles for this team as far as the bullpen. Just talk about just how you can shorten the game, what you added this offseason.
Yeah, I think we're able to hit some spots that needed to be hit. We have good arms here, and I think we've established the bullpen really well. So we just got to get to those guys and be able to shut it down.
Right.
We had a really good bullpen last year when we solidified it, and I think now that we have been able to grab a few arms, it's going to help us out. You want to have a bullpen that can shut it down. When you had that lead in the 6th, 7th. You can bring those guys out to shut it down. So I think we addressed that. So the acquisition of a few guys, a few big pieces is good for us. So I'm looking forward to it.
We're on the backfields here in Bradenton, and this is where we get our work in. This is what for me, we kind of, we talk about hitting. Typically we do a lot of drills, defensively, but this still brings you back. And for your role for this team, does anything change being a DH from a Gold Glove caliber outfielder? What's the mindset in the offseason to make sure you get here and be ready for those 4 at-bats that kind of feel like, well, at least I felt like, you're pinch hitting?
Mm-hmm. You got to stay on your feet. I got to know what makes me click.
Right.
And I think it took some time, especially I really kind of started doing it in 2020. I was coming back from an ACL injury with the Phillies. And I had to learn how to still be myself while also being able to be on top of my game when it came to at-bats. Knowing that's all you did for 4 at-bats. You're only going to hit when we're playing defense. So I had to find a way to stay in the game but not overexert myself at the same time. Because in the beginning, that's what it was. I would run in between innings.
Oh, you running?
Guys would go out and run on the field in between innings. I would run out with them. I would warm up with them. I would throw from the right field just to keep my body moving. And you had the freedom to do that in 2020.
Right.
You had no fans.
Right.
But I started to realize over time, even in 60 games, I was getting tired after game 20. So I was like, I got to think of something else. So I kind of. I condensed it a little bit, and I found a routine that worked for me. I wish the clubhouse wasn't forever away in PNC Park.
Right.
It's finding things like that to keep my body going, to stay on my feet, sit down when I need to sit down, and then when it comes to being ready to hit, I'm ready. It doesn't feel like, we had a 20-minute inning on defense.
Yeah.
I got cold. It's April, So I developed a good routine outside of that to keep me, ready to go when I'm in the box.
Have you thought about anything as far as, just thinking about hitting and trying to get back into, to a vibe of it? Are you closer to the play? Are you deeper in the box? Have you adjusted anything to give you a little bit more leverage as far as ambushing?
Yeah. So when I first came up, I stood pretty on the average spot on the plate. I was right here. The way I always measured it was from the white line to the white chalk to right here in the middle of my bat. I would angle it with the back of the plate, and so that's about where I would drop it to right here. That's where I knew that my foot, as long as my barrel was in this area, I could cover the in and outside of the plate. But as time went on, as pitchings develop, the approach developed, guys may throw you a little more inside, they're gonna throw you away with more sliders. I started to realize that carried me a little closer to the plate because of that. And realizing myself, I can hit the inside pitch.
Right.
But I need to be able to cover, especially off speed, to be able to cover out there. So it got me a little closer to the plate. But now at 37, obviously I'm not gonna swing the way that I did at 23.
Right.
So I've actually gone down in weight. I've gone down in size on my bat because I realized that the more bat speed that I develop, I have higher exit velo.
Yeah.
So I don't need a big bat. I don't need to swing a 34, 31 and a half. I don't need to swing a 34, 32. I can go down and just still have that bat speed, also still be able to cover the plate. And so that's kind of the thing that I've been doing now this year is I went down in weight, I went down on the size, and just keep the bat speed there.
Figure it out.
Yeah.
Lauren, we could talk about this all day, but my man got to go do some work. Coach, appreciate you, big dog.